Thank you. My name is Andrew Funk from Homeless Entrepreneur Foundation, and my question is related to the increase of homelessness in Europe. It was reported that approximately 895,000 people are homeless. It keeps increasing, and I'd like to know how that's being addressed when you deal with sustainable finance and how they're included in the design to reduce it. So my question is, how can sustainable finance reduce homelessness in Europe? Thank you.
Who wants to take it? For check. Okay, maybe I can briefly just say that I think the social aspect of sustainability is being integrated and is being developed, and I think we have seen some elements coming up in the regulation, and to some extent also some financial institutions will look into it, but I don't know if you want to comment on that.
I'm not sure that that there is an exhaustive and comprehensive answer to this. The EU Sustainable Finance Agenda covers E, S, and G. So that's to be clear about that. Now, in developing this framework, the top priority has been given to E. The framework that has now been put in place is very granular and very much developed on climate and other environmental challenges. The environmental, the social dimension and the governance dimension is not completely disregarded, which you can see in the fact that the taxonomy requires that social and governance standards have to be complied with, but there is not an equivalent of the taxonomy yet in place. Clearly, there is an appetite for having guidance on social investment, and that's true for both sides of the market. Investors and investees take an interest in that, and the Commission will report on what can be done in that area, but that still has to be done.
Thank you. Okay.
Very briefly, adding, I see two elements. First of all, the basic financial inclusion policies of individual banks, of course, does take into account, in some cases, also homelessness. So there's a certain approach from individual banks about who can open an account and how, and as part of the challenges that they take into account, there's the homelessness aspect. But looking broader at the framework we have now, there are already sustainable bonds, social bonds. There are certain tools that are out there that correspond to this equation that Marcel is talking about on the supply side, I guess, in this case of finance. So there are investors who are willing to put in their money into projects that do not have the same kind of financial performance that finance was used to having 10 years ago, 20 years ago. Today, fortunately, we're in a different reality. All these investors who are interested in social entrepreneurship initiatives with different kinds of benefits that they want to draw from the project have a bigger array of tools, platforms, also, by the way, crowdfunding platforms. So both really private funding mechanisms and also more public markets. So I would hope to see more of them. And hopefully, we will have the bigger changes in the economy that will hopefully bring down homelessness. But to the extent that it continues to stay, there will be more tools.
Thank you. So I wanted just to say now, if we have like a few seconds for everyone to conclude, just a few words that you would like the audience